My name is Peggy Palmer, and I'm a docent at the Heckscher Museum. One of my favorite paintings in the Heckscher's collection is a scene of Heckscher Park by Henry Fukuhara. It was the inspiration for this painting by Rachel Ferrara of Northport High School. When I first looked at Rachel's painting, I wondered how Rachel's painting with its bright, vibrant colors drew inspiration from Fukuhara's watercolor with its soft, muted colors. Then I read Rachel's essay, in which she explained that she wanted to express the beauty in an abstract way using the medium oil paints in her own style. I was immediately drawn to Rachel's command of the medium and her lovely technique with oil paints. After reading Rachel's essay on her inspiration, I realized that, like Rachel, I too was intrigued by Fukuhara's story. Henry Fukuhara was a Japanese American who was sent to an internment camp in World War II. In 1943, Fukuhara was allowed to leave the camp if he agreed to settle outside of the West Coast, and that is how he happened to come to Huntington to live. Rachel was inspired by this story and did research on the Manzanar relocation camp where Fukuhara had lived. In February 1942, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt issued an executive order which sent 110,000 men, women, and children to relocation centers. Later, the United States War Relocation Authority, the WRA, hired photographers Dorothea Lange, Clem Albers, and Frances Stewart to document these centers, and Ansel Adams volunteered to photograph Manzanar at the request of his friend, who was Manzanar's director. You can see these photographs on the Manzanar website, and you can visit the Manzanar camp, which is today a National Historic Site in Inyo County, California. The name Manzanar, by the way, is a Spanish word for apple orchard, so perhaps the site of the camp is where there were at one time apple orchards. So after studying Fukuhara's watercolor, Rachel took as her second source of inspiration the photograph of a young woman by Dorothea Lange, whose black and white photographs are quite iconic. Rachel wanted to show that there could be a sense of beauty and hope even during the bleakest of circumstances. We wonder why the young woman is wearing a mask. Rachel finished her painting before the COVID pandemic arrived in New York, by the way. We then try and read the expression in the young woman's eyes. Is it friendly? Is it questioning? The expression of the young woman as she looks out of the picture is, to me, hopeful and optimistic. Then we wonder, who is the person sitting behind the woman in Rachel's painting? Also, what is the large, colorful, vertical shape which is on the right side of the painting? Is it a tree? Is it a building? And the large areas of white, are they two things we can identify? We know that the young woman is placed front and center in the painting, and she is our focus. Finally, both artists left their paintings untitled, which tells us, the viewers, something of the timelessness of their themes. In the case of Henry Fukuhara, it is a sense of hope, even in the bleakest conditions. In the case of Rachel Ferrara, it is a sense of beauty through her use of bright colors in a dark era in our nation's history.